Moke Lake, the real name, Kahunamahaka, Twin Waters. If you missed part 1, why the name change? It was a mule. What's coming up in this half? I tracked down the name of the elusive pyramid, the track decides it's at war with my knee, and there's a sign near the end that I read completely wrong. Oops. Join me on the track so you know what you're in for.
Yeah, coming here in terms of like an ideal time, I mean, I guess you could do the morning, but that would be at a fairly slow pace. It would be glorious, but it would be iced up. The sun is that high at 1. You probably wouldn't want to get here any earlier than 9 or 10.
If you're planning on doing this, mid-morning, once the sun's up properly over the ridge. Any earlier in winter and you're doing this whole thing on solid ice. Any later and you'll be sprinting back to your rental car.
What is a regular 6 o'clock, 6:30? Yeah. Is around about the 8 o'clock time here. And then the sun sets, I mean, it gets dark well before 5. Timing's all out of whack. You can see the drop-off down there, actually.
Weird about the drop-off. Somewhere down there's a 45-meter point that we talked about last time. And sitting inside it is what's technically called Twin Waters, even though not one map in 100 uses that name anymore.
Around. Oh wow, look at the ice crystals. Wow. Why is the ice so linear? Came out of these little holes. Oh. I see. So the water sort of just seeps out and freezes at the same time. Making my teeth funny. There must be a name for that kind of thing. Water coming out of the ground and then turning into ice, I guess. I don't even know what I would Google to find that. I'll find it. I'll see if there's a word.
I found it. Needle ice. Groundwater gets pulled through the soil in a capillary action. It hits the sub-zero air and freezes on contact. The ground underneath it stays warm enough to keep pushing more water up behind it, and that's why it comes out in these straight little columns. We basically found a real-time ice growing out of the dirt, and I didn't even know it had a name.
And we're on the descent. Being careful. Making sure my knee is tracking correctly. Ugh. It's like sandy mud. So much for my shoes getting nice and clean.
Keep the shoe complaint in mind. It's not the last time it's going to come up. Sorry for that. But by the end of the walk, it's basically got its own storyline.
So in terms of walking, you can see it's quite squidgy. And now we're on ice again. Whoosh! It is actually quite slippery. Easy daisy. Oh, hecka. Oh, that's very down. Actually, last time I think we went that way. Yep. Not muddy. Oh, temperature change though. Wow. Yeah, the shade you asked. Oh, I found the pyramid. I will call you Tutankhamun for now.
Not official, but officially named by me for now.
Cool.
There's no reception out here, so I'm just going with the vibes.
Ooh. Actually, the pyramid looks less pyramidy at the bottom. Before it looked like very equilateral. Man, okay, that's crazy. Just being in that little bit of shade, how absolutely icy cold it was, and now being in the sun and being like, oh, it's actually fairly reasonable. Oh dear. Very, very muddy. At least this isn't going downhill like that. It's fairly flattish. Oh, my poor pants. Yeah, that's very typical. I think I'll have to hand wash these before I put them in with anything. They're going to be absolutely disgusting. Ugh. So they say this is 2.5 hours, but given how cautious I have to be, especially at the moment, it might be slightly longer than that.
We did it in 1.5 hours. Official time is 2.5. Add that to the list of things the sign just doesn't tell you.
See over the top here. Beautiful. So actually from here, you're not distracted by this gorgeous lake and whom I'm calling Tutankhamun in front of us. There's that road that is your access road. It's a gravel road. It's narrow in parts, and as long as you don't come across some crazy driver, it's all good. Ow. Yeah, this is going to hurt my knee.
Third kneecap mention. This one's not a throwaway. Watch this space.
Yeah.
Quick context on why this descent specifically matters. Going downhill loads the kneecap way harder than flat ground or even going uphill. Every step is a small test.
You know what? If there was an accident out here, you're screwed because there's no reception. Is there like emergency phones or something?
No.
Must be something at the campsite.
Personal locator beacon.
PLBs. Personal location beacon.
Worth being clear on this. A PLB, personal locator beacon. It's a small standalone device that you carry separate from your phone, and it pings satellites directly. You don't need reception for it. If you're doing this track or any tracks in this area, one needs to live in your pack. It's not a nice to have, it's you definitely should have. Get a few more minutes and you'll see exactly why.
For example, in this track, there is zero reception whatsoever. That probably happened maybe like 5 minutes drive left to get here, so it's pretty far out. Sorry, this is actually a little bit sore.
And this bit of ice is where it nearly goes wrong.
Is the view worth the pain? Yeah. At least it's not icy over here. Yeah, if you'd done this in the morning, then you'd assume that all of this would be iced up. Another beautiful view. You can look at the view rather than me struggling. Oh man, we're still going down. Okay, that's fine. Careful, there's actually ice. I'm so super glad I got the knee brace on.
Sure.
This is like, yeah, I think this would have absolutely tipped it. And by tipping it, that means I can actually hardly put weight in it. Well, I can put weight on it, but I can't really bend it, so. All stemming from a fractured kneecap a while ago.
And there's the real reason for the knee brace. The small, careful steps, all of it. A previously fractured kneecap, it doesn't stop the walk, it just changes how it's walked.
Wow! I will make it.
The reward for every small step, every muddy slip, it all comes back to this. The brace didn't just help, it's the reason I finished at all.
Pull this up. Very awkward. Jesus.
Knee brace, tights, and pants. Don't believe me? Check it out.
A knee brace on. My leggings. Ooh. But if I didn't have that on, I think my knee would have gone right out the window. Bye-bye. I think if it was snowy or icy, crampon seems like a little bit of overkill, but also kind of not at the same time. So more like spikes. Something definitely would surpass your general hiking shoe situation.
Winter gear list. It started with waterproof shoes, then to hiking boots, and now you probably want spikes for this. That's 3 tears on a track that's supposedly rated easy. Coming up in the next stretch, I finally get a straight answer on those mountain names. Turns out, I wasn't that far off.
I do like looking at the grass. Is that a strange thing? It looks like hair on like the cartoon character's head or something.
Random fact for the grass appreciators out there, this is a short tussock country mixed with some exotic pasture grasses from the farming days. Tussock grasses in general are painfully slow growers. Some snow tussocks further up in the mountains are genuinely centuries old. So even this low stuff you're looking at right now has been doing this for a very long time.
Oh dear. I don't blame the equipment if I fall over. I blame myself. Although equipment helps. Big time. Got a good view of Tutankhamun. I will find out the actual name of that. There's quite a lot. There's two called Ben. Another one called Mount H, something or other that I can't remember. It's like Ben Lomas, Ben Mon... Huh? Lomid. Maybe, yeah, that might be it. Ben M word, I think. I'm new around here. I'm a tourist. You think that that's Ben Lumid? I don't know. There's two Bens and a Mount H. I'm calling it Mount H. Can't remember. Also, don't have reception, so there's no way for me to find out.
You do, eventually. This is a true historical walk. I don't even have a physical map to find out.
Just it. Oh, yeah. And we're in another Wetlands Broadwalk brought to you by Doc. This track is sponsored by Doc, taking care of New Zealand's walkways.
Doc again, Department of Conservation, funded by the government and running the walkways for free. If you want to thank somebody for this track, that's who.
Make an infomercial out of that. Wow.
Still no reception for the record. Whatever's coming up, we'll find out the old-fashioned way by actually looking at it properly.
Oh wow, just want to show you this stream. The rocks look really beautiful. Mount Hanley.
There it is, confirmed. The peaks surrounding this lake is Ben Lomond, Ben More, and Mount Hanley. 3 names and one that looked like a pyramid this whole walk is Mount Hadley up on the Williams Spur track. Typical. I spent half of part 1 staring at that thing, calling it the pyramid. I gave it my own name, and the second I get a clear look at it, the cell phone reception unicorn visited. Lesson learned. Do not rely on cell phone reception out here. Download an offline map from my site or another trusted site before you head out if you want one handy.
Curious to know, do you know how much it would be to stay at that campsite? 300 or 400 with your own camper van.
Oh, camper van. What do you mean the glamping?
No, not the glamping pods. Oh, the glamping pods, I'm sure, are astronomical.
Turns out, past me, undersold it. The actual domes on that farm run around 770 to 930 New Zealand dollars a night.
Oh, wow. Gotta clear this water. It's not that I'd want to go in there.
You can split that with about 4 people, which would be 220 each. Not quite the astronomical I was picturing. A standard dock campsite, by the way, is around $18 a night for an adult. And the glampers are out of my world tier of camping.
Which means it would be really, really delicious and free.
I'm not drinking it. I wouldn't drink that. I'm too scared. Being stuck out on the tracks with, like, mild giardia would be great fun. It could be absolutely clean, actually.
Clear water and safe to drink water aren't the same thing. Worth remembering when you're anywhere out in the backcountry, not just here.
Delish choice. I don't want to flip that coin. Ironically, I do like living life on the edge. It's not how I want to put my body on the line. I've seen enough Naked and Afraid to know that some of the repercussions of not boiling water properly. I mean, like that, that's clear, but it's super funky brown.
If you're the person that gets desperate on a trail, a $30 water filter or a $15 tube of purification tablets weighs nothing in a pack. And it's the difference between deliciously clean, probably, and an actual medical or bowel evacuation. Cheapest insurance on this entire walk.
Ho ho ho! Righty ho, here we go. Onto the main road by the looks of it. To Moke Lake Campground. Follow the road for 400 meters and watch for vehicles. Great. It's gone from like, let's not try to fall over to let's hope that some crazy tourist doesn't run us off the road. I mean, the sheep that were up there were just all over the place, and they didn't seem to care anything about a car going past. Just minding their own business.
On the way to Moke Lake, and we got stuck in some traffic.
La-di-da. You can imagine in summer with the green all on these, well, twigs at this point.
Almost back to the water. And this next stretch has the actual answer to, is this the same lake? Which I wasn't sure about until I checked.
This is actually quite nice to walk on. Driving on it with the potholes, it seemed like it was going to be a bit of a mission. But it's actually really flat. Yeah, the potholes don't look that bad. Good thing with this kind of road is an EV car wouldn't even be able to sneak up on you. You'd be able to hear it.
Yeah. Also worth knowing, if you're driving this road, it's narrow, it's gravel, and it's shared with campers and mountain bikers heading in the opposite direction. Slow down more than you think you need to.
Is this also Lake Moke? Yeah. Or is it another lake?
Same lake, it just bends further around than most people even bother walking. I looked at the history, but I didn't look at a map. Yeah, I like the adventure.
The lake's got limbs. And this is a wee island in the middle of it. Could actually think it's an isle.
This is ducks and sheep.
Yeah. The wildlife signed some agreements to say that the ducks are in this area and that the shags and others are in the other side.
Not an actual treaty for the record, but it's how it worked out. Different birds, different parts of the shoreline.
No, there's actually, I haven't seen any swans. Not that I'd like to, I don't particularly love them, but you can actually still see how clear it is down there in parts.
This stretch of the shoreline is one of the few spots on the whole loop where you can see straight down to the bottom of the water. Most of the lake edges are too churned up or too deep for that. There'll be a shoe antic later that you'll be able to see right down to the bottom.
Oh, wow. Land.
Oh, there's a shack.
Go, you gonna land? Look at it, just gliding right across that water. Beauty.
Oh, so soft.
You're hired. Why are all the ducks facing us all of a sudden? We don't have food. Oh, I saw the tourists earlier were feeding them. Don't think you should probably feed the ducks. Especially bread and that. Apparently it just makes their guts bad. They're not meant to have human food.
For what it's worth, bread bloats their stomachs without giving them any real nutrition, and it trains the birds to crowd humans instead of foraging properly. If you want to be nice to them, just leave them be.
To the campground. And it sounds like just in time because there's a car coming. You can fish here. There you go. Fishing game. And game. Oh, wow. Season 1st to the 30th, rainbow brown trout, fly spin bait, daily limit 2 trout. Wow, that's not much.
Ooh, turns out I read that a bit wrong. Moke Lake's actually got its own listing in the Otago fishing regs. Season runs from the 1st of October to the 30th of September, so it barely closes at all. Make sure you check out the rules before you head out. And remember that 5-kilometre speedboat limit from part 1? Same rule, same lake. You can absolutely fish from a boat on this lake, non-motorized only. So kayaks plus a rod is completely legit combo if that's your kind of scene.
You reckon there'd be much in there? I didn't think it would be.
45 metres deep. There'll be a lot of something in there.
Different seasons as well. Oh wow, look at the lake over there. That looks cool. It's almost like that part's glowing. And then you got those lovely blues into that
This will be a safe area to actually
deep green colour. I assume that people do go fishing down here. It looks like they wade down reasonably close to the campsite. Ugh. I'm still curious about this, whatever it is, rose bushy thing.
Chase that one down. It's a matagori, also known as a wild Irishman, which is the only native New Zealand plant with thorns. I was tossing up between that and a sweet briar rose. The rose hips for those were actually harvested in Otago during World War II and turned into syrup for vitamin C. So the prickly bush might have fed babies 80 odd years ago.
It's funny, I'm sweating, but I can still feel that bitiness of the wind.
Layers are coming up next, the full breakdown of what's actually on my body right now versus what an 1860s miner might have had.
How many layers?
Layers, with or without braces. Kidding. Without the knee braces on, I've got a pair of skins, which are thermals, and just these pants on top. In terms of the underneath, I've got a singlet on, lol, a jumper in this jacket.
Gear-wise, top to bottom. Thermals, pants, singlet, jumper, jacket, knee brace, and one very committed selfie stick. The Gold Rush miners had wool. That's it. The whole comparison, start to finish.
3. But one of them's a singlet, so I don't know if that counts. I just like the freedom. Honestly, so much for the no bike thing, seriously. Someone's biked all the way along this track, 100%.
Solved this one properly. Finally! Straight from Doc's own page, mountain biking is no longer allowed on either sides of the peninsula due to erosion. But bikes are allowed on the western side of the lake, so that bike wasn't necessarily breaking any rules. It just depends which part of the loop it was on. Please go to doc.gov.nz, Moke Lake track page for more information.
The temperature at the moment right now, so we've gone from just ticking over to 1 to 6 degrees.
Oh,
Balmy? Yeah. So sweaty right now. Actually, though. I don't think I'd be able to hack doing this with just a jumper. Oh, maybe. But it would also depend on how good my knee is as well, because I'd need to walk at absolute pace. This part is really boggy in parts. Slip and slide.
We're heading into the home stretch now. Muddy shoe tally still climbing and the knees holding on. And the actual score verdict on this whole track is coming up before the end. Stick with it. Whew, nearly there. And I've been sitting on the real numbers for this walk the whole time, difficulty included. Stick around for those because they're not what the sign in the car park told you.
In terms of track maintenance, how would you rate it? 10 fantastic, 1 terrible.
Here's the official verdict. This part you can trust more than any sight or sign.
I think that's like a good 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Medium. I mean, see, it's flat. I mean, it's not flat, but it's well mowed.
Overall, I think slightly undulating but understandable. About 8.5 out of 10. Views, definitely a 10. Definitely a 10. Effort-wise, I don't know, it depends. 10 is maximum effort. Okay, if I disregard my body pain, probably like a 2 or 3 out of 10. I don't think it's that hard at all. But in my current situation, it's honestly probably about a 6. It's pretty rough. Certainly not easy. Keeping an eye on the ground. The changes from the rocks to the mud and the ice. Just playing on me a little bit. What do you think for effort?
We could do a 2 or 3.
Right, there you go. Someone that's in good nick, 2 or 3.
Rated easy on paper for a healthy knee. A 3 out of 5 for the one that I have. Same track, completely different experiences depending on what you bring to it.
Wow. What makes this more difficult is the fact that the view's so stunning it becomes a trip hazard.
Yeah.
I'm so distracted. Whoosh. Exactly.
Verdict done and dusted, but what's left is a couple of last things worth knowing about before you go. The toilet situation and one final muddy shoe reckoning.
There we go. You can see the campsite over there. Blues. Clearly not that busy. Curious to know how busy it would be in summer, actually.
Yeah.
Like, would it be busier? I guess so, because it'd be more comfortable. But I think the crispness of the winter makes this more enjoyable. Besides the mud and the ice. What are you even saying? Yeah. I don't know. You know? No? Summer or winter?
Winter for me.
Winter for you. Ooh, wait. Don't make it all the way around just to fall over on the last part. It's like a paradise. Oops. And trees that want to attack you. Jesus. So close. Do not even. Ho ho ho. It's like a thin layer of mud with gravel underneath. Ugh. You know, the shoes were reasonably clean at one point.
Muddy shoes? Final mention. This is the last time, I promise.
Right when you get here. Wow, wow. Walk it up on the grass. Just take it to the lake. Considering the state of my shoes and my pants, thought I might try to just... Yeah. So no, this is going to be my Moke Lake memento. It's a long drop. Perks. Doesn't smell that bad in winter. Yeah, so almost 2 o'clock and it's icy. Super thick. Ooh, yeah. I'm going to attempt to clean my shoes carefully. Oh, actually, also if my knee allows it.
Final knee mention. Full circle. Even cleaning shoes is a negotiation with it now.
Yeah, I don't look silly at all.
As promised, you can see the bottom of the lake.
Literally doing a duck walk. Oh my goodness. Let's go over here.
As the wild Binky goes down to the water.
Yeah. Good.
Did you want to wash your hands too?
How clean is
not.
this water?
It'll be clean.
Nah, because I think if I lean forward, that's just gonna end up in a
Yeah.
cold plunge.
Yeah.
And I don't want a cold plunge.
Those ducks will be laughing at you.
The ducks would definitely be laughing at me. Because we've actually been spending a lot of time around this beautiful area. Gonna jump back in the car and defrost the extremities.
Real name, Tahuna Mahaka, or Twin Waters. Real depth, 45 metres, and a hole in Ice Age carved out. Real difficulty. Depends entirely what you've got going on. This lake had a name that meant something for a lot longer than it's had the one we use now. And it took one walk, one YouTube video, and way too many wrong guesses at a mountain for me to figure it out.
Right, so that is a beautiful Lake Moke, and I mean, just looking at it, the image is absolutely spectacular. I recommend decent shoes, bring a lot of water, like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one, assuming my body lets me get out of bed in the morning. Peace.